a candidate who, at least on my end, I didn't see dropping out this early, has dropped out, and that is Senator Kamala Harris. She did so in a Medium post. Also, she had a video recorded that she posted to social media. So we have some clips of that we would like to show you.
I've taken stock and I've looked at this from every angle. And over the last few days, I have come to one of the hardest decisions of my life. So here's the deal, guys. My campaign for president simply does not have the financial resources to continue, and the financial resources we need to continue. I'm not a billionaire. I can't fund my own campaign. And as the campaign has gone on, it has become harder and harder to raise the money we need to compete. To you, my supporters, my dear supporters, it is with deep regret, but also with deep gratitude, that I am suspending our campaign today. Although I am no longer running for president, I will do everything in my power to defeat Donald Trump and fight for the future of our country and the best of who we are. And I know you will too.
So, those were Senator Kamala Harris's words, officially suspending her campaign. And as she stated, and this was something that we knew for some time as well, that she had money problems. She had financial troubles. When the third quarter results came out, we talked about those. I think she raised about $11.5 million. We talked about her second quarter results, and they were just so-so. They were just kind of average. They weren't in last place. They definitely weren't leading the field. But in recent weeks, we also reported that she had been laying off a lot of her campaign staff. Notably in New Hampshire, she laid off her entire staff and was choosing to focus entirely on Iowa. To see, I guess, how she was going to perform there and let that dictate, I guess, the future of her campaign.
So we didn't even get to see that play out.
Yes, that's the surprising part of this, that we didn't even get to Iowa. And this is a candidate, mind you, that the upcoming debate in December, I think it's December 19th, I believe, she had already qualified for that debate. So it really must be some financial troubles where she does not see a pathway forward.
I even though I didn't see this coming, you kind of smell it from a distance, because there was a few articles that have been written talking about the structural difficulties, the organizational mishaps in her campaign. A lot of Kamala Harris fans were a little bit upset about that. They were saying it was unfair to her campaign. Maybe not unfair in the way that they were making it out to be, but I think that's just kind of, when you do have money problems, you'll have some, structural weaknesses there. So right. I don't necessarily think it's about leadership. Kamala Harris, this is a money issue. When you don't have money, your structural integrity is not going to remain intact. So.
Right, and it can lead to differences, arguments.
Exactly. Because when you have to lay off staff, that's going to leave people bitter.
Right.
So sometimes when people are bitter and they leave, they tend to trash the campaign. When it's all it is about money, not having enough funds. Again, this is coming as a surprise to both of us, because from the jump we thought that the DNC was setting it up for Kamala Harris.
Right, yeah, and I think it was late 2017, California had made a move to place California at the beginning of the primary process, and that's where they are now. It's going to be on Super Tuesday. Usually California was towards the end. The greatest prize in the primary process was going to be heard from late in the campaign, late in campaign season, but now it's very early. And that could really shape or break somebody's candidacy. So the senator from California, it seemed like she was...
They were setting her up to be that
shoo-in, but the pathway was clear for her.
I don't think they wanted to make it obvious, but it looked like they were setting it up for her. Yeah. And then, she was meeting with, Obama donors.
Yeah.
She didn't just a few months ago, probably not even a month ago, but maybe it was a month ago. She was didn't she have like a whole little fundraiser out in the Hamptons or some shit?
She did. She did.
So like, we thought she was kind of like fortifying her campaign,
Yeah.
with some more donors.
She
and getting
just
some help, but
look, that high moment that she had was when she challenged Joe Biden on the debate stage, and that was sort of about his comments he made about the Democratic segregation of senators. This is back in the 60s, 70s, something like that. Where he had, warm words for them. And, we talked about that. That was the high of her campaign. And it did elevate her status, but it just didn't last. It just didn't sustain itself.
it was very
She's
slight.
been tanking ever since.
Yeah, she's been taking ever since. And I know a lot of people, they like to float this narrative, that this Tulsi's doing. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I don't think this is Tulsi's doing. I don't think like there were people who were supporting Kamala Harris who just was like, oh damn it, that Tulsi.
Right.
They had a little dust up in the debate, and Kamala took one on the chin. So I'm gonna stop supporting Kamala Harris. I just don't. If you actually have experienced the K-Hive before, that's not the case. Those mugs are ride or die.
True.
So I mean, she did have a good moment against Kamala, but I don't think she.
Yeah, I don't think that's
that's what ultimately.
demise.
Yeah, because even after that little Biden moment she had, it didn't do anything for her. So when you see her have moments like that, and she doesn't get a boost or a rise, then that just means she doesn't have enough support.
And the last debate, I told you that I thought she did extremely well in terms of the optics of it. It's a difference when you're talking about, do I actually believe in how authentic she is and this and that. But I think she played very well. I think she kind of presented her case very well on that last debate stage. And I said that if that didn't move the needle for her, then I don't know what would, because she's already tanking. She'd already been tanking for some time. And obviously she did not get a boost. She did not get a bump from that last performance.
It's like she's been kind of fluctuating within the same acceptance range this whole time. It's not been like going extremely up or extremely down. It's been in between that 4% and 6% range. Yeah. She's been polling at this whole entire time. So
it's not good. Not good. Like I said, it's not surprising. I guess if you're referencing where we are right now and what we knew in the days and weeks leading up to this, it's not so surprising because we already heard of her problems with money and how she had been laying off staff. But when you talk about the totality of the situation, I definitely expected Kamala Harris to be one of the front runners, one of the candidates that at least made it halfway, even maybe all the way to the convention. So again, just thinking about it in those terms, this is very shocking. Really, where I think she, I guess, didn't really find her path is that, first of all, she is still relatively a new name. When you're talking about politics, she's a new senator. She was just elected in 2016. She tried to play the Obama-Hillary Clinton game. I guess the 2020 version of, who they were back in their day. She seems more to the left on a subject like healthcare than Hillary Clinton was. Seems like it. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but in her rhetoric, she seems like it. So that's why I say the 2020 version of Hillary Clinton is probably somebody like Kamala Harris. But that type of candidate in this primary process, I'm not sure somebody without the cachet of an Obama or Hillary Clinton gets you very far. When you have somebody like Elizabeth Warren, who had a lot more name recognition in this race.
And she was standing beside Hillary Clinton in 2016, so that helped her out. Yeah. So it was almost like Warren started off with a base simply because of her, very vocal and very public, very public endorsement of Hillary Clinton, going on stage, the clapping, the fast clapping.
That's true.
So that was an advantage for her. I think, like you mentioned, the cachet. That cachet is a good point. But one thing that people seem to not talk about is how she kind of backpedaled on Medicare for All a little bit too. Definitely. That probably didn't help her out a lot.
No, I don't think it did. Not at all. But and like I said, that's why I do believe she is the 2020 version of a Hillary Clinton type of candidate. appears like she's a little bit more progressive, but not so sure about that. If you can recall, too, back in February, we talked about the CNN Power Rankings. And this was done in part by Chris Saliza from CNN. And we showed you this graphic. And this was February. This was about almost to the end of February. I think this was February 19th or so, something like that. And right at the top in the power rankings, Kamala Harris. Number 6, Bernie Sanders.
I remember that shit too.
Number 6,
I remember
Bernie
that.
Sanders. Yeah.
And kind of, that's a good example right there of the flaw in how the mainstream media views certain candidates and certain figures.
Yeah.
And they're not really basing it off of anything.